Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mundane Mad, here with a really fucked up story for you. Now, here's the thing. Leslie Jones has had a very interesting summer. I'd say more interesting than any other celebrity I've ever come across in the past couple years. First up, Ghostbusters came out and tanked. Yeah, it flopped. It flopped worldwide, okay? But that's not necessarily uncommon. What happened after that was a Twitter back and forth with a number of trolls that were egging Leslie on, in which case she basically fucking called down the ban hammer on a number of them, including Milo Yiannopoulos, who was a Breitbart editor, who was blamed for a lot of shit he actually didn't even fucking do. All right, now granted, he did retweet two images that were doctored of Leslie, but that doesn't make up for the fact that she, while claiming racism, had frequently and legitimately posted racist tweets herself. So there's a real double standard there, but it's a double standard that was outright ignored by Jack Dorsey, CEO of fucking Twitter, who contacted her directly in order to help kind of issue some of these new fucking rules and regulations on Twitter. All right, and that bothers me to no fucking end, but it still does not justify what happened today. I just want to make that abundantly clear before we begin talking about what happened. So just a couple hours ago, justleslie.com, Leslie Jones's website, which did in fact look like this. As you can see, it's a pretty simple website. It just says comedian Leslie Jones official website, and then her name again. With her photo. That's really about it. Nothing too special, nothing to write home about. Just a simple fucking website. Well, that kind of changed, and before it was taken down by GoDaddy, it looked like this. Now, as you can see, the really offending material is not there. This is an archive of it I was able to find, but it does give us some really interesting information. For one, it shows us that the header of the site says Twitter cucks BTFO, all right, which might give us a little bit of indication as to why this happened, okay? And then it shows a WikiLeaks response or WikiLeaks tweet to Jack Dorsey talking about censorship. It does give some other information about her that's going to be blurred out because I don't know how sensitive that is. And then we're going to see a thing here that says a true friend Rip Harambe tribute song, and it's a YouTube video. But here's the thing with that is the Harambe memes are clearly a big thing that had to do with the incident last month on Twitter and a lot of racists sending her tweets. But at the same time, as I pointed out in my video about this a month ago, a lot of those people were really trying to be showcased by Leslie. They were trying to be retweeted to her large audience. They were going more and more aggressive, trying to get her riled up, of which she was giving them precisely what she wanted by retweeting them and calling for others to go after those people. I mean, this was a whole clusterfuck of shit that went down. And as I think I said back then, no one really came out on top, period. There was no rightful person, no one was in the right 100%. Everyone kind of, fucked up and shit. All right, but it still doesn't explain this kind of crap, right? But here's where it gets really interesting. You see this this email basically from Laura Cohen, who works at Twitter, and she's writing to Dwight Caines, who works for Sony Pictures Entertainment, and a couple other people who work for Twitter, saying, wanted to circle back with some important progress. Twitter has actioned over 200 accounts associated with Leslie yesterday, including, most importantly, Nero. I know this doesn't excuse yesterday or make up for the hell that Leslie went through, but you should know that she played a powerful role in substantive change on the platform. Some press with their statement about how we're handling it, and then it links to some shit right there. Like Twitter just permanently suspended conservative writer Milo Yiannopoulos, right? Okay, so it basically shows that there was collusion between Twitter and Leslie and Sony Pictures to take down harassing accounts, right? More importantly, they wanted to go after Nero. Why? Because he had been fucking hammering them home pretty hard, or hammering them hard for a while there, and I'm pretty sure they're looking for really any which way to take them out. Now, I don't know the validity of this email. I don't know how true it is, but if this thing is true, it shows wholeheartedly that Twitter was working behind the scenes in order to take down a conservative author that they didn't like, trying to accuse him of racism and other things like that when he didn't fucking do it. All right. Now, he did retweet a couple of doctored tweets, but that's not racism. Okay, that's just maybe not paying attention. You want to talk about actual racism, go look at some of the stuff that Leslie Jones herself tweeted out about white people. That is total fucking double standard, total hypocrisy, total bullshit on Twitter's part. And it's really like, as much as I love the platform, I love the standardized idea of the platform, the company itself is in utter fuck all right now. It needs to just needs a total overhaul because it's fucking up. But this kind of showcases it. Of course, you don't see anyone in the media right now who's talking about this story showcasing this. Now, one of the things I find interesting is that the Hollywood Reporter reached out to Milo Yiannopoulos, and this is what Milo had to say as a result. He says, "I'm distressed to hear that Leslie Jones has been hacked and naked pictures of her have been posted online. I know we had our differences and after my review of Ghostbusters, but I wish her all the best at what must be a deeply upsetting time." And you know what? I would like to say that I think Milo means it. It's entirely possible that he's just playing up face, but generally Milo doesn't fuck around like that. You know what I mean? Milo will tell you how he feels about it, and he's not a horrible individual, not as horrible as a lot of people in the media have made him out to be, especially in this particular situation where he was vilified as an internet boogeyman, when truth be told, the person that people are protecting has said even worse things out there than fucking Milo did on Twitter. So it's utterly ridiculous how much of a double standard exists in this particular situation. But then going back to the case in point here, Leslie was hacked through the iCloud. Okay, that's how the photos got out. All right, not only photos of her in at least one compromising situation, and her driver's license and her passport were also leaked out there as well. So that information exists now. People know where it's at. So I saw that, and I just have to say one thing about all of this, and it's simply, Leslie, you live like halfway between LA and fucking Ventura County. Are you mad? You really want to live all the way? How do you even commute into town? Like, seriously, like I looked at where she was living, and being that I used to live in that area, I thought to myself, God, I would never move out by Thousand Oaks. Never. My girlfriend and I talked about it. She's like, "You want to move to Thousand Oaks?" And I'm all like, "I don't want an hour and a half commute just to get to the edge of the valley." Jesus. Right? It's like, it's an irresponsible place to live if you want to be in Hollywood. Just saying. Other than that, that's it. You know, look, but here's sorry, the fucking traffic thing bothers me. Okay, like that, the location bothers me. That's it. But the other photos, man, that's like, look, no one wanted to see that. I don't think, people weren't active. Look, no one wanted to see it. All right. Just no one wants to see it. But moving on from that, I still am not happy with this situation at all. I don't. While this showcases wholeheartedly there's a double standard with Twitter, if that is to be proven, that email, it still shouldn't come at this particular cost. It shouldn't come at the cost of a person's dignity. And truth be told, that those photos ding her dignity, because, it also talks a lot about privacy and how celebrities don't fucking think about their privacy. Let me tell you guys a fucking story here. Okay. I used to work at a flower shop. All right. And this flower shop provided all of the flowers for the Oscars. All right. And I'm talking, we have celebrity clientele. Kris Jenner called in every day. One of the most horrible people I've ever had to speak to in my entire life. God, I fucking hate her. Okay. But she called in every single day, and everyone else, would call in and shit like this. But no one ever took information security really, 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 like, importantly. No one ever gave it much of a second thought, right? Like, I'm not lying when I say this. I had scratch paper, and on one of my scratch papers was Jennifer Love Hewitt's address, like her current address at that time. It was a piece of scratch paper at my desk. No one took this shit fucking seriously. Celebrities' assistants would call in, and every time, like at least 2-3 times a day, they'd tell me, "Oh, I need to update my Amex card. The last one was stolen through identity theft. Here's a new one." They don't care. It's willy-nilly. All right, money comes, money goes, whatever. They get it fixed through FDIC or whatever the fuck it is, or protection plans, and then they move on with their fucking day. But they never take active extra steps in order to protect their other shit. Same thing happens a couple years ago when we had the Fappening, which, as horrible as that event was, I still, to this day, until the end of days, love that goddamn name, because it's so fucking funny. But when that thing happened too, again, the cloud was at play here. It's because a lot of these celebrities don't understand how the cloud works. Their assistants don't take the time to properly set up the phones with proper password protection or things like that. And it's eventually these things get broken into. Now, even with proper security and proper privacy protection, all that kind of shit, is it going to mean that it's never going to happen? No, of course not. But the more active steps you take to protect your identity, protect your online information, it tends to work out in your fucking favor. So that's something to take away from this as well. It's like, look, as horrible as this situation is for Leslie Jones, the lesson for everyone else is two-factor authenticate your shit as much as you possibly can. All right. You know, what I hope is this. I hope that this situation comes and goes. All right. People have been talking about it. People have been putting the blame on Milo Yiannopoulos. I don't think Milo had anything to do with this. I don't know for certain because I wasn't there with the guy and we're not like super, super close, but I've known the guy for a while and he might be, a catty person online. He's definitely a personality out there, but he doesn't seem like this type. You know what I mean? That kind of vengeance isn't necessarily his thing, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but that's the vibe I get from the guy. All right. And so I don't think he had anything to do with this. Now, if this is someone else acting for him, then that's independent action. And that does need to be investigated and does need to be sought out. This doesn't benefit anybody. This type of situation doesn't help anybody. It doesn't further a conversation. All it does is hurt somebody's dignity, hurt somebody's self-esteem. And to what end? Because, like of a fucking Twitter beef. Have we gotten to a point in our lives where Twitter is really that important? A site that's hemorrhaging users by the millions every single year, a site that's losing money every single year, a site that is losing relevance every single year. Like, are we literally at a point now where Twitter beefs are used as a way to fucking destroy lives? And that is just ridiculous if we are. And it's so sad at the same time. So I look at the situation, I think to myself, I'm very, very, very sorry for Leslie Jones that she had to go through this. At the same time, I find it interesting that Twitter had a hand in shutting down Milo. If that email is to be true, I would have liked to have seen that information without the rest of the accompanying photos. Because again, I didn't need to see that, and neither does anybody else outside of the intended parties they were taken for. So that's all I got to say about that. I guess I really hope they solve this thing pretty quick. And in the meantime, fucking protect your shit. Or if you're going to take nude photos of yourself, just fucking make sure they're stored in a much more... don't put them on your fucking phone, man. Check your iCloud. Learn what an iCloud is. If you're a fucking celebrity, learn what a goddamn iCloud is. Take some of those photos off. Anyway, see ya.